Okay. Okay, good evening everyone. Welcome to Free Flame Thoughts. First live talk on Facebook. It's usually on Instagram. I know zero about the technicalities, so let's see how it goes. Okay, I'm just going to wait for the guest speaker to pull up. Let me see if it's possible to find them. Okay. Okay. Ooh. Happy Wednesday vibes. Let's see how this goes. There's a few things that I may repeat during this live for those who may be popping on and off the live for their notification. I'm just waiting for the guest speaker to come on the live. I've got to get used to all the technicalities on this app because I know zero about it. It's my very first time. Hi! I can see the thumbs up, but I can't see who's actually sending it. Osiris, here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, here we go. Let's see how I bring you in. First time using this app, I have no idea how to use the technicalities and the mechanics. I tried to do a little, hello, Anne-Marie. How do I bring you in? Okay, I'm trying to add you in, Osiris. Let's see. Okay, are you here? 1 second, 1 second. You should be popping up on the screen any moment now. Yes, it says join in. Hi guys, let's see how, I'm quite excited. I was a little bit nervous at first because I've never done like Instagram, Facebook live, and all the mechanics is totally different. I know zero about how it works. So let's see. I can see the notification saying that Osiris is joining. Okay. Okay, so it's spelled. This is, okay, let's see how it goes. I can see that you're trying to join the live. I'm going to try and add you again where it says add. All I can do is follow the mechanics. I've never did this before. Yeah. It says he's joining. Boom.
Blessed, 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 blessed.
Let me tell you, man, let me bring out my sage and my Palo Santo stick and say, Lord, make nothing happen to this live tonight.
Can you see me? Can you see me?
I can see you clearly. I can see you. Can you see me clearly?
I can see you clearly as well. How you doing?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. I'm very well. I'll just sit there for the last few minutes talking to myself, just saying it's the first time I've done a Facebook Live. I tried to come on a few days ago. I tried to come on a few days ago to see whether I could, work out the mechanics, but it's not the same unless someone's on it. So bear with me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm kind of new. I'm kind of new to this live thing as well. I've been doing a few lives from the other day, but this is the first kind of like interactive live.
Aha, and it's going to teach you something different because when people do their own lives, it's a one-man show. When you're interacting, it's so different. So let's both learn something today. So welcome, my brother. Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. All the way from London to JA. It's going to be a nice live. Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into it. Don't watch the numbers. Whoever will join us. They can watch the playback later anyway. Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's start with, how did you spend your day today before coming on this live? Let's start there.
Today, all I did today really was my routine is it's a regular thing really. I don't really do much in the days apart from once I get up and thing. I might make breakfast or I'll probably have what's left over from the day before. I mop like I mop up the carport and that because the dogs.
Oh, you have dogs.
I've got a couple of dogs as well, and they kind of make a lot of mess. Like they're going, well, not the big dog, but the younger one. She goes into like other people's yards and bring all this kind of mess back into the yard. So
oh boy!
Every morning I've got to kind of tidy up the carport, mop it out, feed the dogs, and if I've got any housework to do, I'll do it. If I've got any washing, like any clothes to wash, or I just get it done. I try to get everything done like as early as possible, so I still have the day to myself. You know, because Jamaica, the time goes so slowly. It goes so slowly.
We're gonna get into all the differences between Jamaica and London, and it's gonna be. We're gonna get into all the layers. We're gonna get into all of that. So you have 2 dogs. All right. So did you make breakfast today? Did you make? Let's talk about that. Did you have some breakfast today? And what did you make?
No, I didn't make any breakfast today. I actually had I did some steamed fish yesterday. So I just had I just had the last bit of fish this morning.
You know what I'm asking? I'm asking, so where's mine?
Oh, okay. I'm a bit late now. You should have told me yesterday. I'd have saved a slice for you.
Oh, you see when I fly over, it's all good. All right.
Yeah.
Let's get straight into some warm-up questions. It's nice and easy. So it's my way of connecting with people and get to know a little bit more beyond just the the topic at hand. Yeah. So who is Osiris? Am I pronouncing this unique name correctly?
You're pronouncing it correctly. Yeah. Osiris. Okay.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, I actually got the name from like my mum and dad. My dad's name is Oswald. You understand? And my mum's name is Iris.
Wow.
Understand?
Wow.
So I just merged the 2 together.
That's
and
perfect.
Just came with Osiris as as it's a kind of a tribute to them as well.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's
yeah. Because my mum and dad, like I came out of a loving home. I'm not lying to you. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of my peers that I grew up with, like they came out of like 1-parent homes, and I was like one of the only people in the crew that I used to go around with that had 2 parents living with me, apart from maybe 2 others.
Me too.
But most of us that used to go around in them days were like 1-parent families and things. You understand? See? So basically, like with me coming up with the name Osiris now, it's like it's in memory of my mum and my dad.
That's lovely.
Understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because like I said, I came out of a loving home, man. You know what I'm saying? I came out of a home, see my father looking after my mum, being supportive, being the man. You know what I'm saying? Taking care of anything.
Wow.
You see me? See, like I said, so my dad is my hero, really. You know what I mean?
That's
see, when I check the levels.
Very grateful. So you merged the 2 names from your parents and came up with Osiris. It's very beautiful. Tell us a bit about you as a character, you the spirit of who is Osiris.
Well, me as a person, me as a character, I'm kind of basically, I'm what you see, what you get, really. I don't try to put on no front, or I try not to be something that I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just like how I'm reasoning with you now. I'm just like this with everyone, really. It's not a front what you're seeing here. This is me. I'm a humorous person. I can get deep in conversation if we can go there. We can get deep. I'm humorous. Kind. Sometimes I'm a bit too kind. Sometimes a bit too honest. These little things, but that's just me as a person. I can't be no other way. You understand? If I try to be, it won't be me. I mean, sometimes you gotta be a bit cruel with people and angry with people, but that's because they get onto the wrong side of you. You understand what I'm saying? And that's the same with anybody, really. But on the whole, I'm a calm person, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just calm. I just love to have a laugh. Everything. I just love having a laugh, love having a joke. I just love love. I just love happiness, joy. I mean, even if you check my posts and ting, most of the time it's about love, joy, happiness, upliftment. It's not really about trying to play down no one or put anyone down or nothing, unless it's in the right format. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, so like I said, I don't know if I could get any more people in this live still on my side. I don't know what's going on.
Go ahead and invite if you want to. That should have really been at the beginning, I guess. But yeah, go for it.
But yeah. I'm just gonna continue.
You can do it on your side.
Speaking. If they see that I'm live, they see that I'm live.
That's
but
all
yeah,
right.
but that's just me.
All right.
That's just me in the whole.
Okay.
You know?
So secondly, you mentioned your parents. Is that your original origin, like Jamaica? Are they both from Jamaica?
Yeah. My dad went to England in 1953. He was one of the Windrush lot. My dad. You know, long time ago, man. And he says I remember him saying to me that when he went to England, the first place he lived was in Brixton, South London. Yeah, and there were 7 of them sharing one room. You understand?
That's the time.
Yeah, 6 man and 1 woman sharing a room. You know what I mean? And eventually he managed to get himself out of that situation. He moved to a place called Vauxhall, which is in South London, close to the river. Yeah, and then he sent for my mum the following year. You know what I mean? He says that I remember him saying the first thing he done when he got my mum's ticket for her to get the boat to come over. He says once he knew she was coming, because them days it was telegram. You understand? See? It wasn't really like, you know, like even airmail letters wasn't really. I think an airmail letter probably would have took about a month them days or something like that. So I think it was telegram how they used to communicate. So he says once he knew that she was coming, the next thing he saved up for was to buy her a coat.
Your dad sounds like the dream that no longer exists, but that's a whole nother Jerry Springer show. We're going to talk about dating later.
Yeah.
But dad, he sounds
real,
like
man.
an old story. Like, seriously.
Yeah, for real. My dad said the first, once he knew she was coming, once he knew my mum was coming, man, the first thing he thought to himself, boy, the next thing he has to save up for is to buy her a coat, an overcoat, because he's saying she ain't going to be ready for this kind of weather.
London weather, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? See, so she came the following year and ting, and they moved around a few places, got rejected from a few places, and ting, you know, got insulted. My mum told me about they used to get insulted by white people knocking their doors and all them kind of things.
Is that the days of no coloured, no Irish, and no dogs, isn't it?
No, yeah. They, you know, they used to see signs up on doors and ting and knocking. She said one particular incident is where she knocked on the door, she and my dad, and a white lady answered the door, and she had a little daughter with her. I think the little girl must have been about 3 years old or something, a little white girl, and she started screaming and saying, "Mommy, mommy, they're gonna eat us! They're gonna eat us!" You know, right? Wow. And the white woman says to my mum and dad, "Get away from my door! Can't you see you're upsetting my daughter? Get away, or else I'm calling the police." You understand? There's no vacancies here.
Those were the days, man. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Let's go back a little bit, Osiris. Let's go back. So both your parents are from Clarendon, Jamaica. Am I correct? Is it Clarendon? Did you say?
Not from Clarendon, no.
Jamaica.
My father's from a place called Rockfort in East Kingston.
Okay. Is that near Moko or something like this?
Pardon?
Is that near Moko?
No, Rockfort. Rockfort.
Okay.
Rockfort, yeah.
Okay.
That's Rockfort.
Rockfort, okay. All right.
In East Kingston.
Tell us a bit, at the moment, we're still on like a little bit of a warm-up question before we get into the layers.
Sure,
I'm trying to call back a little bit, pull you back a little bit, yeah? All right. So if you want, before I go to the next warm-up question, we can stop for a moment and back some of your peeps on the live if you like. We can do that. Yeah? Should we do that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's see. So feel free to invite. I'm not sure. Someone sent a view or something.
Okay, let me see. I don't know if I press on some people's names if it will alert them.
Yeah, you can do. You can invite some of your peeps over. It's totally different. It's Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. As I said, I've never. Oh, well, I think what I might try and do then, if I could probably share this live then.
Yeah, you can do that.
That might alert more people.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that.
I'm pressing the share button though, but it's not really doing anything for some reason.
On the live, feel free to share. In the meanwhile,
sure.
Rock on, and whoever joins. If you want to invite people, you can actually tap their names in and invite people. Like if you want to, that's also okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can tap in. Yeah. But I can't seem to even comment for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah, it's totally different to Instagram. All right, so let's rock with it while you're doing that. Yeah. So the next warm-up question I'd like to know before we get into the layers of what inspired you to go to Jamaica is, what was you like as a child?
As a child, I had a great childhood, man. I'm not lying, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I came out of a good household and ting and ting. And I was just like any other child, really. You know, used to love football. You know, love my sports. You know, in school, I was quite bright at school, quite intelligent. But I used to play around. I used to mess around a lot in school. I kind of gazed at school, actually. You know, yeah. I mean, to the levels of intelligence that I had in school, I should have done a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But I really took school for joke, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I didn't take school serious.
Yeah, when we're born in this country, you know how it goes sometimes. All right. So how would your parents, how would your family and friends describe you like now, as you know, the Osiris who you are now? Because you know we've done a little bit of childhood in terms of that, but how would your family and friends describe you?
How would they describe me?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Yeah, and that's not your opinion of yourself. It's how they describe you.
Oh, okay. Well, I should think that there's not really a lot of people that I don't get along with. You know, I get on with most people. If I don't get along with you, it's got to be a reason behind it, and we just won't talk none at all. But on the whole, I get on with most people, so I shouldn't really think that I have anything bad to really say.
No, but let me explain a little bit of what I mean about that. Yeah, and every time I speak to somebody, if you look at all my lives, I always ask these 5 set of questions first, because I think it's very telling. It tells me, like, every time I speak to somebody, it tells me more about myself, believe it or not. Yeah, it's like being a therapist or a doctor. Although you've got a client, you're learning a lot about yourself in the process, or whatever job that you do. Right. So often when I say how do people describe, how would someone's friends or family describe themselves, we often as human beings tap into what we think they will think of us, but that's sometimes 2 different things. So someone can love you all day long. It could be your wife, but she will have a description of you. It doesn't matter how great you think you are on a Monday. Yeah, that goes for me. So most people will say, I'm this, I'm that. They never give anything negative, and it's impossible. Everyone has 2 sides, a yin and yang.
Yeah. That is a real difficult. I wouldn't say it's a difficult question, but it's a trying question.
It is. You know, it's one that will make you think.
It makes you think. You know, it makes you. It's like you have to try and get into the head of other people now to see how they see you on a real light. But you see, that's a difficult question again, because when you can see someone's face, but you can't see what they're really thinking.
Oh, energy don't lie. People have to tell me half the time what comes out of here, they're reserving the rest. That's human nature. Unless you've got like really blatant family, you know, that Caribbeans can be cruel and don't know they're even being cruel. You know, Caribbeans can be like that with their mouth. Yeah, but often you can tell. It could be something that someone says, "Oh, Cyrus, he felt he's too deep," or there's always something that gives you an.
Oh, yeah. I hear that, like that. Yeah. Well, all right. In that respect, then I'll say that they'll see me as a black sheep. Then.
Ah, okay. In what way? Give us
I'll be the black sheep.
In what way?
I'll be the black sheep, because the thing is with me, like, especially with where my family's concerned, like, everything I've ever done has come out in the open.
Okay.
You know, like when I first started smoking weed, all these little things, and I still got family members now that smoke weed, and no one else in the family knows but me. Imagine that. Yeah, but everyone blew me up as the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I've got family members that smoke, and no one else in the family knows but me. Imagine that. But I was the black sheep for all of this thing.
If he was African, I'd understand, because obviously Africans are raised very different to us, and they could be doing, I mean, just like us, they can be doing the most rebellious thing and no one would know. Because it's almost like I've got to be, I can't be seen that I'm a doctor and I smoke. Because, you know, African has a different culture. We're a bit more radical, straight up of who we are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that respect, I would say I'm the one really that everyone, that the family loves to point their finger at.
Okay, do they do that blatantly, or is it like a low-key kind of thing?
low key, but I see through it all.
That's what I'm saying. You can tell. Vibes don't lie.
Yeah, I see through it all. For real.
Yeah,
So
in
that respect, yeah, I see where you're coming from with the question now.
Yeah.
So I am the black sheep.
Yeah. It's all right. I like the
I am the black sheep.
They're the ones that are more the rebel of a cause, and I love them people there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all hush when they're doing their thing. Like, I've got especially a couple female cousins and that. And like when there's like family gatherings, when I used to go to family gatherings and thing, and you know, I'd be the one everyone comes to say, yeah, you got weed, this, I would be the man. That, you understand? See, so then you'll find like one or two of my female cousins say, hey, you got a little split, can I get a little, don't tell no one, though. And you understand me, see? But I used to be the one that everyone condemned.
I can guarantee you if I was raised around you, it'd have been bare deep talks and jokes that we would have been having. Because I already know. So for those who's going to watch this, so for those who's going to watch the playback, and for those who, I'm going to send this video straight off to YouTube after also, I'm going to give you now a bit of feedback for how I met this gentleman brother right here. Okay, so there I was a few days ago, minding Facebook's business. Yeah. Let me not say my business, Facebook's business, scrolling on my network and just, you know, browsing. And I'm thinking to myself, I've not seen this man before. He's clearly on my Facebook. That's how Facebook and the algorithm works. So I don't recall ever seeing you before, but clearly you're on my page. Yeah?
Okay.
I thought, what's he talking about? And I see this man, I don't know if he's a Ras, but I know he's a roots man, and he's talking, his arms are folded up, and he took off the stuffing of his head, and he shake out his natty. I said, what's he talking about? Customer service and mannerism in Jamaica. And I'm like, I've got to see what he's talking about. I'm gonna ask you questions about that shortly, but that's how I went onto his page, saw that he was talking about something passionate, which we're gonna talk about in a moment, a little while later. And I thought, I'm gonna talk to this man, because he is, I perceive his spirit to be a man that don't skin up, pet or powder or play.
I hear you.
So
I hear you.
Play is gonna be the funniest, kindest, generous spirit. I could see that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mirror me. You just didn't know it. Because I'm very playful, but ask anyone. Yeah. Don't with Silver. I'm that, honestly, I ain't the one. So I was like, I want to talk to you. So I went to your inbox. I was like, let's do a live together. Yeah. And
it was a surprise. It was a wonderful surprise, to be fair. You know, I get a lot of inboxes. I get a lot of messages on my inbox. Some of them ain't, you know, interesting. Some are. And that, but you know, because I got that because I saw your name for the first time on my inbox, I thought, oh, okay, let me see, you know, like what she's saying, kind of thing. Because you know, as much as we're Facebook friends and that, we're not really that familiar with each other until now. Yeah. So you see, with me, it was a great surprise.
Right. If I enter someone's inbox, they know it's Santa Claus coming, Mrs. Claus. I don't come for holiness. That's just me. Yeah.
Okay. I hear that. I hear that.
Inbox, something's popping, you know. So yeah. Okay. So basically, we came up with the subject of who is Osiris and what's he doing in Jamaica, and the conversation he was having on his live that I bumped into, which inspired me to message him. So here we are. The topic of the hour is Osiris' journey from South London.
Big up the people on the live. Big up the two people on the live. I know there's only two of you, but big up, man.
Thank you.
Ex-Paris, big up yourself. Big up yourself, ex-Paris.
Yeah.
Appreciate having you here.
Absolutely, Evs. Hi. Yeah, so what inspired, let's get to the topic of hand now, of your move from South London to Eastside Jamaica. Okay. Well, what inspired you to leave London to go to Jamaica? If you're willing to share any elements you're comfortable with.
Well, what actually happened was my mum, I wasn't working, right? Hold on, I'm here. Yeah, what happened was it's a kind of a long story, but I'm gonna give you the basis of it.
Give us the basis to begin with.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, a few years ago, I was out of work, right? I was out of work. I had a job, but I lost it because I was on bail.
Okay.
I was on police bail.
Yeah.
I was on bail for a weed charge from 2015 to 2018. 3 years this thing went on for.
Okay.
Right. in that space of time, I managed to get a job working for Asda, doing online delivery driving.
Okay.
See? So I was on probation with them for 12 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. So about 6-8 weeks into my job, they called me into the office and they said that they ran a CRB check and discovered that I'm on bail for cannabis charge.
Oh,
right?
boy.
So they says to me, they need me to give them a urine sample immediately.
Oh,
right?
mate.
So, yeah, so bam, you done know, gave them a urine sample, came up green, positive for cannabis, you know, lost my job, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, long story short, my mum got sick. So I thought, okay, I'm going to come down to stay with her for a while. So I literally spent the last 6 months of her life with her. Yeah. So when I went back to England, whilst I was here in Jamaica, I realized that things needed to be taken care of around here. Do you understand? Like, and my sister's not really that interested as much as in Jamaica as much as me. You know what I mean? Even though she was born here. Do you know what I mean? But anyway,
okay.
Yeah. So so when I came here that time, I thought, when I go back to England, if I got to return to Jamaica, I'm not going back to England because I'm not working there. And, you know, I saw that there's more potential me being here.
Okay.
Kind of thing. Yeah. So I basically went back to England, and when I went back, my mum passed away when I got back. I was there with her for the last 6 months. And then as soon as I got back to England, she passed away about 3 weeks after I returned back to England. So I had to come back, you know, and financially, I wasn't really 200 financially when I got back. Anyway, I was better off financially here.
Wow.
Understand?
Okay.
Yeah, I was better off financially here. So I thought to myself, okay, I'm just gonna just forget about England and come back, because I owed my landlord all rent money and all this kind of thing. And I thought to myself, you know, it's best I come back to Jamaica, man, where at least the property is mine. You understand? I can rent back out a couple rooms, start making money for myself, and that's exactly what I've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just sort of thought, okay. I spoke to my daughters about it. They seemed, because they're big enough now. It's not like they're children anymore. They're adults. You know what I mean?
And they're still living there in London, your children? They're
still living in London. I'm trying to get them involved more, man, so that they can come and get more involved down here as well. You know what I mean? Because if anything should happen to me, God knows what's going to happen with the property if they don't want to get involved. You know what I'm saying? People
well, you started off the basics, so I'm sure they will. Okay, so it was due to circumstances which led you to basically go and remain in Jamaica. So I wanted to ask you, since being in Jamaica, how has the local residents received you as a Londoner living in their zone? Being like, let's start here.
Okay, well, to be honest, my mum and dad moved back to Jamaica from England in 1991, right? So I've been coming here to this house since 1991.
So
most of the locals.
Okay.
They all know me.
Okay, well that's a nice transition. That's nice.
Yeah, they know me from long. I mean, some of the locals there, I know them from they were babies, and they were like 25, 26 years old, 27 now, all them ages. So it's not like I'm new. I mean, there are new people around here that I don't know. However, most of the locals, them, especially on my road, I've known them for almost 30 years now. You can say 30 years. So as much as I'm a foreigner, I'm not, because I'm still local to the people them that know me all this time.
That is actually really nice. That's a nice transition. Yeah?
Yeah.
That's really nice. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So since you've been there, have you encountered any negativity? Because obviously I feel like basically traveling there back and forth as a bit of a tourist is not the same as actually really residing there. You know what I mean? It's a different kind of, I would say, energy in terms of knowing that you're staying. Is it permanent for you now? Let's start there.
I've applied for my dual citizenship.
Oh wow!
So I could become a citizen of Jamaica as well as a British. Yeah. So that's what I'm waiting on at present.
That's amazing. I'm sure that will happen. So how do you, I mean, do you roam around like a tourist as opposed to a local, or do you now roam around like as if you are a local now and that's your permanent?
I roam around. I've been roaming around like a local from ever since, man. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, some people still got this seen as a foreigner, you know.
Oh my God, they always
most
will.
of them,
Of course they will.
yeah. But on a whole, you know, I could say I'm pretty local now. You know what I mean? I'm pretty local.
Had any barriers or challenges since being there?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I've encountered challenges. Especially when I've got to deal with like the public services, like the Water Commission, you know, the Jamaica public, you know, the light people.
What,
you know,
can you give us a little bit like of what the difficulties are like compared to maybe London?
Their customer service skills sometimes need you know, they need sprucing up.
Oh yeah, we might as well go straight into that part. Absolutely. So, okay, customer service, which is the main reason why I was attracted to your live video that you done the other day, and why you were so annoyed. So let's just go straight into that part of the question of the night then. What is it like? What is the customer service like? You mentioned with the, you know, utility bills and the water. Once you're in touch with them on that level, what's it been like? What has those challenges been like for you?
Well, you see, the thing is, a lot of times that's when the British kicks in there, and I start, you know, I tell you the honest to God truth, I don't really like when I deal with the public in Jamaica. When I go out, I don't really like to speak much more than I have to.
Is that because of the accent and they can probably take you for?
And sometimes they draw you out, you know, and you just have to just deal with it. I mean, even I've had a few run-ins with a couple taxi men as well.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, a couple taxi men.
Give us some real life examples, if you don't mind.
Okay. I remember one incident where I was taking a taxi up the road, and it was them times there the taxi fare was $100, right? But I had no change. I had $1,000 bill. I had $1,000 bill on me, right? So when I got to my destination now, I gave him the $1,000. This time the taxi's full of people, you know, right? I give the man my $1,000.
Oh, is it like a shared taxi system?
Pardon?
Shared taxi system.
Yeah. Like everyone them days, everyone pays $100 each.
Okay.
Like as long as you're going in the same direction, everyone pays their fare. You know, you get on the bus, everyone pays their fare. It's the same thing in a taxi. Yeah. So I gave him the grand now, and he's making up noise about he ain't got no change and this and that. So I'm saying, you're a taxi man, you're supposed to have change. You understand what I'm saying to you, right? So then his argument now is that it's true, I don't want to pay him. That's why I gave him the grand. I says, what are you talking about? I'm fucking British. I pay my fucking way. Yeah? So, listen, I didn't even want to have to go there with him. And then it's so
you went into
now, everyone in
the a little bit.
I'm saying instantly now, everyone in the taxi them now know that I'm a British. Because I've got to be, because of how he's talking to me, right? Yeah, he's trying to embarrass, as far as I saw it, he was trying to embarrass me by saying I tried to dodge paying him.
So once he heard your British accent and then you had to speak in that term, what was his response?
I just said to him, just give him what he had to do. He had to get all the change. He had to get all the people them in the taxi. He had to get all their money to make up my change. I'm saying, you say you're a big taxi man. You ain't even got no change on you. Just hurry up and give me my money, man. That's how I had to deal with him. Do you understand? Okay, about 2 weeks ago now, me and my next taxi man caught up again. A friend of mine was having a party. A friend of mine was having a party, right? And usually what they do is it's a basic fare. If they let you off on the main road, it's like a basic $120. But if you want to turn off and go up, it's an extra money. But I wasn't aware.
Okay.
I wasn't aware of that, because usually when I go up to them place there, I have a driver. There's someone who carries me. You understand? This is the first I'm taking a taxi to go up to them place there, because my driver was unavailable that night, right? So I'm in the taxi with him now, and he's got a couple girls in there and ting. yeah? So I says to him where I want to go. So he says, you want me to turn off? So I says, yeah. So when he turned off now, I gave him the regular fare money.
Mm-hmm.
The man come in one piece of noise and excitement, and he start, now with the bumper clock, this y'all give me. So I said, what are you talking about? He said, ain't no ramp with me, you know.
He fucked
So
with the wrong man, isn't it?
Oh, listen, the man got mad on me. The man said, I ain't like him, I said, no ramp with me, you know. I'm more money than this. I said, what do you mean, more money like what? He said, no, so I'm more money. So the next woman sitting beside me, she must have realized that I genuinely don't know what's going on. So she's saying to me, when you turn off, you got to pay more money to come up. You understand? So I hear me to him. Well, I don't fucking know. This time now, I'm just raw bone British again now. I says, well, I didn't fucking know, did I? You know what I mean? I says, here, I says, turn on your lights so I can see the money. Because I don't even know the money good at night. So switch on the lights so I can see how much money I'm giving you. So he switched on his light and I gave him $500 and he gave me back my change. And I just slammed his taxi door. And he said, hey, pussy, you wanna slam me door, you know? I says, I fucking slammed it, so what? So what? Oh, it was a madness, man. Oh, it was crazy.
Thankfully, he didn't get out of the taxi.
Oh, man. It was crazy. I didn't even want to have to go there with him, but just to the way I wasn't aware.
So basically, even
man.
that example of the taxi man not having adequate customer service and mannerism was a problem. So let's get into that. Yeah. Okay. So I went to Jamaica in 2017. For those who, many people already know, I'm half Jamaican. And hi for those who's on the live. Yeah. Okay. Hello, darling. So I went to Jamaica in 2017, and naturally, oh, there's so many things I want to talk to you about tonight. Naturally, people always say that it's that, you know, the system that makes it out that Caribbean is this or America's that. But I always say there's no smoke without fire. I don't believe it's just YouTube and media making out like all of these stories don't exist. There's a, you know, there's always obviously magnified storylines. But sure. Anyways, I went to Jamaica. From my experience, the majority there absolutely have no decorum, mannerism, etiquette whatsoever. Those in the hotel, of course they do. These are hotel staff. They've been trained differently.
Okay.
Yeah. All the hotel staff was A1.
Right. By average Joe.
Yeah. The minute you walk out of the hotel, it's a wrap. So obviously, even London, listen, there's so many YouTube videos of people talking about Caribbeans, specifically usually Jamaicans. Yeah. Again, guys, I'm half Jamaican, so don't be offended that I'm saying that. I'm allowed to say this. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Particularly Jamaicans, is umpteen videos of people discussing, even those who's come from back home to London, who doesn't have no mannerism. What you want? I can't come into your food shop and you're asking me like that. Are you mad?
Well, that's well. You see, that's the thing. You see, these are the things that
those vibes. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, these are the type of things that, if I'm in a bad mood, right, and I get approached like that, I put it on them.
I don't even want the food again. That's just energy. I don't want that food again.
I put it on them. I just let them know, say, yo, you ain't gonna get my customers. You ain't gonna get my customer. This is how you deal with customers.
It's
I
terrible.
Put it on them like that.
It's terrible.
Trust me.
And guys, you know that we're living in a time, everyone's going to watch the playback on this, we're living in a time where we are really heightened in regards to supporting Black business. Okay, but I'm going to say this, take it as you wish. I'm all for supporting my own first in every way possible. But listen to this. Right. Not everyone's supposed to have a business, because customer service is why I'm going to want to come to your shop more than once.
Right.
Okay. Right. If your attitude's being Black ain't gonna hold me. I'm telling you straight. Okay. So I want to support my own, but that also means customer service, mannerism. My experience.
Exactly. Exactly. If you ain't got that, your business will never prosper. But if you don't have that.
It's same as, to be honest, Caribbean and African is very, very similar, to be honest. You know, I think the Asians are the one people that's kind of conquered how to get the money out of us. Yeah, they seem to know how to lock this thing down, in my experience. You know, obviously the Asian man will have 3 shops on one street, and if you say, I'm not coming back, he's cool because the other shop belongs to him too.
Exactly.
All
Yeah,
right.
you know.
Tell us more about Jamaica in regards to, like, let's talk a bit about like culture now, yeah? And it's going to be a point I'm going to let you just free yourself and say other bits that you want to flow over and, you know, fill in the blanks. Let's talk a bit about culture. There's many layers to what I would like to speak to you about. Culture now. From your experience, in terms of parenting, I'm going there for a reason. Yeah, obviously Caribbean's Caribbean, American's American, but parenting, in your opinion, from growing up in London, especially South as well, but London, UK in a whole, to going to Jamaica over a long period of time, now you permanently reside there, what's the differences in parenting, whether you promote it or not? Let's get into it.
The differences in parenting now is no more parents anymore.
In Jamaica?
There's no, everyone's the same. Everybody's the same. No one speaks with regards to saying, well, you know, my parents are there. You know, everyone just talk. There's no such thing as parents, man.
Okay.
You know, some households, I'm not going to say every household, but on a whole, you know, adults and their children on a whole, they talk like they're friends, 2 friends, brother and sister.
I'm shocked. I didn't really feel like, I'm shocked. That surprises me. That surprises me.
That's the real deal, my friend.
I know when it comes to education that Caribbeans don't play, you know, in terms of like, you know, and in a lot of households back in the day, mannerism was very important. Like, for an example, as you lot know, sometimes you can be raised with the most, I was raised in a very strict household, very good. My dad didn't play, he's Dominican, he don't play. Okay, so manners, no matter what you did on the streets, when you come in that house, it's a whole nother level of boot camp army style. To be honest, I'm that mom too. I was very loving, but I didn't play. But let me explain what I mean by that and why I asked you the question. I don't believe in busting your kid's ass. That's my personal opinion. I believe if you have to beat up your children, that's something lacking in you. That's my personal opinion. It's no different in their partner because you can't control them any differently. Okay, so I just want to know in regards to like this. I mean, one of me and my siblings fell out over even this subject here alone in terms of parenting, and a video that was going around like, oh God, about 5+ years ago of a Jamaican mother who caught her child having inappropriate conversations with a boy at her age on the phone. And the mum bust her ass, and the mum was butt naked in the yard beating her, and someone filmed it. Now that brought a conversation for me and my sister to have a conversation about. She saw nothing wrong with it. I saw something wrong with that. Okay, so what's your opinion? I mean, maybe you're for it, against it, but in terms of like Jamaican parenting, is it?
Yeah.
Seems less
communication. Me personally, I don't believe in scolding children either. I don't believe in it.
Not like that. I don't believe in it. No,
not like that. But I'll tell you something, right? Some of these children really need.
They need a clap or two. But I'm talking about, guys. Look, we know the difference between a slap and a real pick your switch, bust up your ass. We know there's a big difference. There's a big difference, and we also know that a lot of people believe that if the kids of today was getting ass whooping, they'd be A-grade students. It doesn't really work that way all the time. I'm sorry. Maybe in the house, but you leave the house, many people was raised in educational parents, went to college, uni, and you still pick up the gun. Yeah. That was their choice. Yeah. Not every broken home or every household who didn't get an ass whooping means they're going to end up being murderers, killers, rapists. But that's the impression people would like to say. No. There's many people that was raised with the most eloquent parents, unis, went to university. Kids still pick up guns the whole of the school in America. Let's be real.
And turn out to be serial killers.
What are we going to say? All serial killers came from bad houses? No. There's obviously something not to say that. You understand? So I'm saying, we know that some children need a clap or two. I'm all for it, a clap or two. But an ass whooping. So my thing is, that seems to be something that a lot of people promote in many cultures and races, whether you're Asian, whether you're white, whether you're black, but Caribbeans have a big magnified glass black people on them in terms of ass whooping. Look at social media. Okay, social media, and it sickens me, constantly post things as if it's joke about getting ass whooping, and the posts go round. I'm reading, I'm thinking, this is embarrassing.
But then, yeah, it is embarrassing, Silver, but then again, we've got to blame ourselves for that because we're the ones that post it there.
It's not coming from my page, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean, I wouldn't share things like that myself on my page. However, when I say we, I mean the white man ain't gonna get hold of that shit unless someone who's filming it don't send it to him.
Yeah, yeah,
exactly that. So it's our own people that is putting these things out on social media that's giving us a bad name. Our own.
Yeah, it's
we are our own worst enemy.
I feel like, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Obviously, guys, for the record, for those who are going to watch this back, this is more chit chat with Silver. It's relaxed. Okay, so when it's relaxed, I talk a lot more. When it's strategic interview, I'm much more stiff. All right.
I hear you.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So yeah, I kind of feel like it'd be nice to see posts that say, instead of ass whooping and bringing out the band-aids and bandages after, how about we might go counselling? There's got to be an upgrade to our people now. Seriously, what's your thoughts? Like, where is you know? I mean, I believe in counselling. I'm an advocate. I've studied elements of counselling. It's the road I want to go on. You know, so what's your thoughts in all of that part as a Caribbean man yourself, descendant yourself, in terms of, especially now living in Jamaica, from what you see from London to JA to here? What's your thoughts in terms of the lack of communication in the household rather than the ass whoopings? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
You see, the thing is, there's the lack of communication has a lot to do with technology now, I think. Okay. Yeah, because we don't have to speak verbally anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, you could be in the kitchen and I could be in the bedroom, and then instead of you coming and asking me a question, you're calling me on your phone or you're texting me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See, so I mean, the lack of communication has a lot to do with technology, I would say. Yeah. And the thing is, you know, when I was growing up, right?
In 2020, you know, so, yeah, carry on.
I mean,
2022, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you know, another thing is the family, the unit of the family unit has disintegrated now, as to where, you know, like you come home from school in the afternoons and everyone will be around the table, you know, having dinner, or if not every day, on a Sunday, you know, the whole family will be around the table. That way, you know, you have your discussions, you have your arguments, everything's done around the table. You understand what I'm saying? And then that's where
how it was for you?
The whole center of communication was.
Is that how it was for you in your household?
Yeah.
You were very blessed.
Yeah, basically.
People can say that.
Yeah, you know, that's the table is where everyone will be seated, and that's where if anyone's got anything to say really or whatever, that's where it will be said. Around the table, the dinner table. If there's any quarrels or whatever, it goes on around the table. You know, a family household, and then once you leave that table, everything's back to normal again. Yeah. But you don't even get that kind of atmosphere anymore, either, right? Because everyone's got their own TV in their rooms now. Everyone's isolated. Yeah, you get your food, you go into your room. You know, your mum's in her room, and everyone's separated now. You want to communicate with someone in the next room, you just press a button now and say something to them. You don't go in there to communicate. And so communication as a whole is broken down, and that is down to I'll put that down to technology, to be fair. You know?
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I prefer the good old...
Well, I mean, if you're saying that you ate around a table, so to speak, and you conversed with family way back then, is it really technology? Because you had this from way back when a lot of black families still don't have it now. But now times have evolved, so can we really blame technology in this day and age? Or is it about generational behavior, generational curses and that kind of thing?
That can be a part of it as well.
You know what I mean?
That can be a part of it as well. Yeah, you're right. You see, the thing is, again, I think a lot of us as parents, I'm not talking about our parents, a lot of us as parents now, and who's turning into grandparents as well, I think we didn't bestow some of what our parents taught us onto our children, because our parents are so disciplined with us that we became a bit more relaxed with our children. That's what I think.
Is that a good or
right?
bad thing, do you think?
Yeah, right. You know, we didn't really discipline our children as much as our parents discipline us. But then again, that's still not our fault again, because that's down to the government taking away the power from us as parents.
So we're going back to the beatings then, are we then? That's the case.
Yeah. I'm going back to like the discipline. All right, the discipline thing. Not necessarily. Okay, just say for instance, when I was a child, right? Yeah. If I saw your mum on the road, Silver, I would try my best to be on my best behaviour. In front of her, definitely. Yeah, because I wouldn't want her to have a bad impression of me. Yeah. Because that would look bad on my parents. See? Right? But now, the kids don't care. They don't care. They don't care. And you can't even say to your friend's child, you can't even discipline your friend's child, let alone a stranger's child. You can't even talk to your own, sometimes you can't even talk to your nephew, your niece, you know, because your sibling will get offended. Or, you know what I'm saying? I'm that mum, and I'll tell you now, living in London as a Londoner, and many people maybe agree or disagree, but although I took in terms of the militants from my parents, I was a very rigid mum in terms of discipline. I told you I didn't play, you know, and maybe my son actually still resents that, but it never involved beatings. I can probably tell you he got a smack maybe 3 times in his life, and that alone has distressed me to this day, and I'm talking about smacks. Right, well, well, so, it's like me with my daughters. It's like me with my daughters. Okay, my eldest daughter, I've only probably smacked her twice, but maybe about twice. To be fair. I'm a youngest daughter. My youngest daughter, I've never had to lay a hand on her. Not what, she's 18 now, and I've never laid a hand on her. Yeah. My eldest daughter, I've laid a hand on her twice. And that was, you know, and she was quite young still, you know. One time she wrote something on the wall in the house. She wrote sex on the wall. Oh, wow. Yeah? Yes. And when I gave her that scolding, that was the last time I gave her a scolding. And she was probably about 8 years old, 9 years old at the time. And I didn't have to beat her again after that. Fair enough, fair enough. Maybe that's fair enough. But yeah, and the reason why, for those people that don't understand, because some people wouldn't be able to fathom, they're so used to busting up their kid's ass that they're not giving it. And look, let me give you an example, okay? I know you got different energy children out there. I get it. And sometimes being a parent is the hardest job. Whether you're a guardian parent or a biological parent, it is one of the hardest jobs you can do. No book, no video, no course is going to actually prepare you for real parenting. Okay? So I understand that there's different level children with different behavior, you know, different behavior that requires different discipline. I get it. But when you have to cuss, constantly swear at your children or beat them constantly, I think it's not the kids. The parents have got an issue. You've lost control. You've lost control, basically. And I've seen many parents that's constantly cussing their kids, constantly swearing at their kids. For me, that in a I don't like to hear it. Yeah. When I see that happening or I hear it, I just say to myself that parent has lost control. Okay, and even if they have in that moment, I mean the continuation of it. So my philosophy is, I know old school people will not say, let me go and get some family support or go to therapy. I get it, because we've been told, like, you know, if you go to counselling, it means you can't, you know, you've lost it. But I'm an advocate of counselling. If you need support or a social worker or whatever you need, it's better you seek that help, bite your pride, as opposed to beating up your kids. Now, let me tell you what it is about that. I've done a radio show about this topic 2 years ago. I feel, other than the, you know, the beatings and what comes with it, it's the repercussions. Fair enough, perhaps that you know, the beatings has got them in line today. But many people, and I mean many, and I don't mean all, has gone on to extend that journey, which has caused trauma in their life. It's been held and lodged in them.
And some of that trauma from the beatings, I mean, I've grown with people, whether it's in my family circle, colleagues, friends, and these are some of the men has gone on and they've become woman beaters because of that. I've spoken to them. I've spoken to these men, and all they got was ass whoopings. And this is the reason why they have continued that same journey and extended it to men, to women.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
I mean, children grow with anger in them like that because they can't retaliate.
And some of these children go from the home where they don't have no control over the parents and go to school and become the bullies.
Yeah.
So I've been watching.
They've got to take it out on someone.
Okay, I have been watching the behavior of a lot of people for why they are the way they are. And I speak to so many people, and often it goes back to physical abuse.
Yeah.
You know, as well as the verbal abuse. So that's the reason why, guys, I just want to ask you what you felt about the differences in parenting in London versus Jamaica. Yeah, that's that part.
Yeah. Even in London and that. Parenting, you know, it's really it needs a shake up, man. Parenting, because there don't seem to be any boundaries anymore.
100%. 100%.
There don't seem to be any boundaries, man. Children and their parents just coming like they're friends, and there should always be a boundary with the children, man. No matter how close you and them may be, children are supposed to know their place around, not only around you as their parents, but around adults on a whole.
100%. I had my son very young.
There's no boundaries no more, so that's why children don't have that respect for adults.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I had my son really young, so I was a baby who had a baby, and I was expected to be like what parents are like today, but no. I put everything I had into it, and I guess that was a surprise maybe for my son, because I'm not supposed to be that mum who's stern at 17 having a baby. I'm supposed to be running about, having a bag of money in the yard. I'm at 17, so I'm a grandma now. And my life's mine. Ain't no more baby coming from this girl. Yeah. So yeah, I've lived, I've done it, I've been there. So I can, I guess, relate to you in terms of, you know, those who's becoming grandparents now. Because my granddaughter's gonna be 5 this year. Guys, I'm gonna read your comments shortly. Okay. So one more question for Osiris before I go to your comments. While you can have a drink or whatever you want to do, feel free to like up or whatever you want to do on the live. It's, you know, this is free flowing food. All right. Employment. Your experiences for how people, I mean, the employment system in Jamaica, whether it's for you or those you've observed, what's happening?
Oh man, the employment system, it's all politics. It's all politics here, man. It's all the employment system. It's all politics, mate.
Okay.
If there's like a contract going on down the road, whichever politician controls that area. Right, he's giving people in that area the work. Okay. You understand me? Yeah, that's what it is, man. You know, it's politics and favoritism. That's all. That's what runs Jamaica, man.
The tricks.
You know. Yeah. Yes, I am. Trust me. You know. So yeah, for real. So the employment thing is hard. I mean, if you ain't got links or contacts, then you have to just try to do your own thing, basically.
Really, in 2022.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. It's all about links, man. If you ain't got links in Jamaica, you perish, man, with certain things. You know, so you just got to just down and find your own.
So are people still doing?
If you go downtown Kingston, you see 1,000,001 people selling the same thing.
That's tourist industry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
See?
So can I ask you how you're gonna then find your field? Have you come up with a career plan or a niche that you're good at, or you know? Okay.
Well, what I was actually planning to do was to go into record production.
Nice.
Right. But to be honest, it's a lot of hard work, man. It's hard work, and you need links. And you need money, and it's hard work, man. It's everyone wants to be a producer now. Everyone wants to be. Everyone wants to be a producer.
But let's get into it as you've touched that note. All right. So you preferably your niche would be going in whilst you're in Jamaica and setting yourself up. Before I ask that question, let me go back a little bit before I go forward. So you say the employment system is a real challenge unless there is like contacts or favoritism and things like that, and it's all politics, as we say. Yeah. So are a lot of people still cultivating and farming and growing their own stuff? Is that are we still at that place?
In the country, in the country.
Okay.
But you see the thing again now with the cultivating and thing, the thing is fertilizer's gone up. Everything's some farm. I've heard farmers complaining like the fertilizer is even costing more than the actual plant itself. You know what I mean? It's madness. It's hard. Yeah. Everything's just gone up. Money. You know, this so-called war that's going on, and that, you know, it's just triggered everything. Even here in Jamaica, man, everything's gone up. Everything's gone up. So
has it gone up since COVID hit? From the very first COVID hit?
And even due to the COVID as well, and that as well.
Yeah.
It's just madness. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
As you've touched on production, that was a question I was gonna ask you a little bit later, but let's go there. So you prefer to go up the line of creating your own business in music production. Are you an artist yourself? Would that just be producing and having artists where you produce the production for them?
Not as an actual artist. I would like to produce artists as well. But what I've noticed is even I've met a few artists and this and that whilst being here, and they're hard work.
Is that celebrity?
They're hard work, man. Okay. Trust me. A lot of them have got this ego thing, man, going on with them, and I just can't deal with it. Yeah. Seeing so, I'm kind of thinking of going into other fields now, maybe even promotion.
That sounds,
promotion.
That sounds good. All right, so let's talk even deeper. I would like to ask you, firstly, we know that when it comes to music, whether you are from China or Brazil or India or Russia, most people has heard or seen something in regards to dancehall. Yeah, and the majority of reputation is not positive. Yeah, and I don't mean the music necessarily. I mean in terms of the industry of how the women carry themselves, as you know, provocatively, the reputation of it all. What's your thoughts? I mean, like, we're still in a day and age. Okay, let me go back and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking this. I saw a post a few days ago and I posted it on my page. And it's a conscious sister saying the time of twerking is over. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Yeah? And it's a really good post on my page and it's giving you different images of, come on now, women, come on. Yeah? What's your thoughts on that? Because obviously it's not just Jamaica, you got St. Lucia, but mainly Jamaica and dancehall. Do you promote it, the slackness?
Yeah, well, she's right. She's right. I think she's right, man. You know, the content of the music. I mean, when I listen to the content, just say for instance, if I'm in a taxi, then right, and there's probably like a woman older than me, like an elderly, I wouldn't say like an elderly woman, but a big enough woman, and maybe some young people, and I'm in a taxi. A taxi man might be playing a CD or something, with some slackness on it or something like that. And I'm thinking to myself, don't he have consideration for the elderly woman? You know what I'm saying? You know, that kind of thing. Everyone else in the car could be singing. Everyone else in the car could be singing, singing along with the CD. Yeah? And I'm there, I'm thinking, rah. Do you understand what I'm saying? See, so the content of the music down there, to be honest, I don't like it again, man. It means shaking up.
Content. I didn't mention the content because, look, I'm a music woman. My playlist has from Afro beats to cartel. So it's all about mood and what I want to be influenced by, yeah? Let's be honest. Slack tunes in my bedroom works well, okay? So therefore, I'm not against it. There's a time and a place. I'm not against the Caribbean. We're about the winery. I'm
sure.
I'm talking about when I go traveling. Let me be more specific. When I go traveling, the countries where they are not, maybe more so now, but let's say 2017, 2018, go to places like Turkey and Tunisia. They called me like Whoopi Goldberg or Bob Marley. They still weren't used to seeing black women looking like me. That's how far back they were. Now, when they look at me,
yes.
Oh, the woman that whines on the bottle top, yeah, Jamaica, and they do all of this. So everywhere I go, that's not really up to speed. That's the they look at me and see dancehall queen. In this day and age, I'm trying to tell you, when you're traveling, in foreign. So I'm saying the reputation of not just Jamaica, of we're going to talk about the crime scene in a minute. I'm talking about in terms of dance hall, not the music necessarily, but the act that comes with it. Remember, a lot of these dances we see, you can go on YouTube now and see the same dances that Africans are doing, and it doesn't look slack. That's where enough of them come from. Yeah? Enough of these dances, I can plug it in now and show you dances that look like twerks, but it don't look slack. So why is it everything we take, we've got to turn it into a slackness on your back and all sorts? Why? And
I don't get it. I don't
videos
know.
from 5 years ago, hang on, videos from 5 years or more, where they're in a dance. I'm going to give you two embarrassing things, and you lot already know this. They're in the dance. The man's on the speaker box high up. The woman's on the floor on her back, and he dropped straight into her crutches. Like them kind of things. There's a mattress in the middle of the dance, and there's real live sex going on, and people are just raving like it's normal right beside the mattress. I'm talking about that shit.
Then I don't see. These are the things. But this is the thing that the world sees, and it looks bad on us.
No, you see why? Well, okay. This is what people keep saying, but no, there's no smoke about fire. These things exist.
Yes.
And it's embarrassing on us because it exists. But people like to act like, oh no, the media's making us look bad. But hang on, it's happening. So how is the media making you look bad? I'm confused.
Yeah. It's crazy. And they love Afro beats here in Jamaica now. Loving it, man.
Well, I love it too, but I want to know what's your thoughts on that. Like, do you have any thoughts? I mean, are you opposed to it, or are you cool with that kind of flavor?
I'm
honest thoughts.
I'm opposed to it, but you see, the thing is, I just got to go with the flow right now because it's not my era anymore. You know, so I just got to go with the flow. You know, in my era, when I was, back in the day, where it's like Buju Bantam, Batty Rider and then song there.
Yeah,
that was my era.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, see? So when you think about it, maybe people older than us was probably thinking about us then in that light. Who knows? See? And maybe they didn't like it, what they were hearing then. But that's what I'm saying. As much as I'm opposed to it, I just gotta go with the flow, because my era of songs, for me to hear my era of songs, I have to go specific places now.
Remember, I'm not talking about songs,
I've got everywhere here, you understand? See, so I've got to either work with it, I've either got to work with it, or I've got to go and find specifically what I want to listen to.
Okay, so let me remind you, I wasn't criticizing the music production. I was criticizing the behavior. But that's the influence. What I'm trying to say to you is, I'm not going to mention any particular dancehall artist on here, but what I mean is, if I hear a dancehall tune, yeah, I might do a little whine, but then how far do I go is what I'm saying to you. I'm talking about the slackness of the women in the industry that's actually performing to these songs, and the people that are the audience in clubs dancing to these songs, and the behavior in this day and age that we're still keeping up as Black people. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, but you see, again, it's what's being put out there. I mean, there's a lot of decent reggae music out.
Of course,
but we just don't hear it. We just don't see it.
Yeah.
We don't hear it and we don't see it because that's not what is being put to the forefront. Do you understand? What we're
there's a lot of roots reggae artists that's being put to the forefront. Many Octane, Pressure, enough people that have brought out roots music, and obviously they have their crowd. Queen Africa, they all have their crowd. But yeah, I just thought, anyway, not to sit too much on that point, but wondering what you thought of all of that. But maybe, as you say, you're just flowing with it. But for me, as observation, I think to myself, I'm seeing one last thing I want to say on that point about music, guys. And for those who watch the playback, I've seen relentless videos of people that are so caught up in this industry with the music that they have children's parties, for an example, where they have the small children, maybe about 8, 10, the oldest, and all of the kids, you can see it's been orchestrated. All of the kids has got a young girl and a young boy's behind her and he's daggering. And his dance all playing. And I'm like, you're fucking in my consciousness. You really are. Because I'm like, do you understand? I can't even get my words out. To see this, for me, it's abuse. These children could have never orchestrated a children's party where all of them are paired up. And the little boy's got her like a big woman. And then you're seeing videos of even in Jamaica. I'm not saying those ones are all in Jamaica, but I've seen ones where it's in Jamaica, where the woman's my age group. And the little boy might be about 15 or less. And he's holding
and he's whining on her. I've seen them. I've seen them.
I want to beat up the see, no violence, but listen, that's abuse.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Of course it is. But you see, you know,
she needs to
a lot of people here don't think that deeply, to be honest.
Oh God.
They just see it as a bit of fun.
Really? I'll tell you something now, and I'm gonna.
A lot of people they just see it as a bit of fun. You know, one thing with Jamaican people, my friend, I must say this. One thing with Jamaican people, any opportunity to dance, any chance they get to dance, they're on it. Yeah. Yeah.
There's something missing up top, because as far as I'm concerned, and
any chance that they get to dance, they're doing it.
Anybody watching this back, leave your comments. I'm going to go to the comments in the next 2 minutes. Yeah. Here's where I'm at. We're adults. We can do whatever we want, no matter what the opinion is. Londoners, other people, locals. But when it comes to children, let's draw the line. Let's allow children to be children. Because that little boy has no business bending over a big woman and performing a dry sex act on her, and it's because it's entertainment. Let me tell you one thing. If that was a man, that's another topic, but I'm gonna just touch on it. If that was a man bending over a little girl, he would have lost his life that night.
Definitely, without a doubt.
I'm gonna let that sink.
Without a doubt. No, without a doubt. You're right.
Another thing I want to do, okay? Because when it comes to women, we get away with a lot.
Yeah, yeah. But then,
you know,
who's to blame? Who's to blame for that?
All right.
Who do we blame for that? You know.
Have a drink, Os. Light it up. Do what you want to do. Let's go to the comments, and then we can carry on. Fifi, big up Fifi and her partner. What's popping? Tonight is chit chat with Silver.
Get some water. Just get some water. Yeah, 1 second.
Go do your thing. Go do your thing. Okay. Tonight is chit chat with Silver. That's why I'm so talkative. Not so much interview vibes. Yeah. So Ev, hi Ev. Blessed to you. You're saying that you are also the black sheep. Okay, that's all good. Apocalypse. Yeah. Hey, my darling. Fifi, blessings. You're saying blessings. You're saying amen. Amarie.
Big up, Fifi. Big up.
Yeah, Amarie saying really loving the live show. And
thank you. Thank you.
Twerking is overrated. Gal, twerk in your bed from your partner. I'm all for it. Spin pump it and hang off chandelier. I'm all for it. Yeah, there's a time and a place, right?
True.
Right? Let me see. It's hard to see the writing when it's so faint. This one on Instagram, it's got a black backboard, so I can see a little bit more sometimes. It says it's become sexualized. Can't see the rest of the writing. Hang on. Because it's white writing and sorry guys, it's white writing and the back of Osiris backdrop. Sorry guys, my thing came off my clip. Let me see. Let's go back.
Is it my backdrop? My backdrop's white, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay. It's not your fault. That's just why I can't read the white, but it's not a problem. I'll just see what I can.
Okay.
Fifi says.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, it's being sexualized. Women aren't respected how they should be. Absolutely, they're not. Yeah, not the way they deserve.
Right, she's right.
Yeah, The media isn't making up. Thank you, Fifi. The media, Fifi says, is not making up what it's the media. They're not making up what we're saying. Absolutely not. The media can't make it up what isn't there. Okay, not on this scale, no. They have something to go on, which they then work with, 100%. Yeah? And Paris said, love the conversation. Okay? Right. Whew.
Thank you.
So, water, let's do that. Let me tell you, let me have my tea. Literally. All right. So, can we talk a bit about socialization and dating?
Yeah.
In Jamaica versus London. Yeah. But before we do, is there anything that you would like to share and add from your own free-spirited self before I carry on with my directed question?
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm having a dance for my birthday next Saturday, July the 11th. Next Saturday, June the 11th.
Okay.
I'm having my birthday party called Gemini Lifestyle next Saturday.
That's not fair.
I'm having it here at my house. Pardon?
I'm coming.
Oh, that'd be wonderful, man. Trust me, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, so that's basically my main focus at the minute. I've been going out promoting it, going to different parties and that, which has been not only tiring but money consuming as well. Because you know, promoting your party, you got to go out, you got to spend money. You know what I mean? Sometimes I got to give the selector money to announce my party. You know what I'm saying? All these kind of things. So it's very it's tiring, man. And because I'm not the driver, sometimes I got to wait for the driver, and you know, sometimes I'm tired and I just want to go, but I got to wait on the driver. You know, it goes that when you go out. And yeah, hopefully next week I'll get a full house, make back some money and thing. You know what I mean? That's it, really. Yeah, that's all. So next week Saturday, Gemini Lifestyle. You know, June 11th, yeah, right here at my house in Arborview. Food is on the house. Two top sounds playing here.
What we'll do at the end, so promotions should really be at the end. I will then, for free, after the live, to actually send me all the details and just put it on my page, and I'll spin it round for you as well. I don't know, there's only people that
cool.
I know in Jamaica actually at the moment, so we can do that at the end, yeah?
Okay, no problem.
Super. Guys, let's go to Jamaica and get lit. Yeah? That would be amazing if I could make that party, right? Let's talk about...
Say that again. You cut out there.
I said, it'd be amazing if I could make your party. It would be wonderful, but you never know. There'll always be a second occasion for a Gemini link up.
Oh, man, that would be wonderful. Maybe next year.
Oh, my God, that would be nice.
Maybe next year.
Now that I know you're there, so that's cool, yeah? All right, let's get straight into... Let's talk about socializing and dating, but let's go back more into dating. Is there even a dating culture in Jamaica?
Say that again?
Is there even a dating culture in Jamaica? And I mean, okay, it sounds very bizarre what I'm saying. I know it's 2022, but let me give you a little bit of feedback for why I've asked that. To a lot of people, even in London, so not Americans, Americans are on point as far as I'm concerned with the dating scene, okay? They understand what it's about. In London, still, let alone places like Jamaica, you tell someone that you've just met that you want to date them and have courtship and go out regularly before you actually get locked down into the house vibes, they can't fathom what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people know, because obviously there's apps out, there's, you know, all these dating apps that you can go on and you know what it's about, but people still can't get to grasp. People are still going to be asking a woman, do you want to Netflix and chill, and can I just bring a bottle around? Dating.
I hear that. Well, here in Jamaica, I found here in Jamaica, right? The women down here, the women that I've met, they're not romantic.
I've heard that before. I've heard that before.
You know, maybe the odd one and two.
Really?
However, most of the women, like me as a British now and thing, the way I approach women, they're not used to that approach.
So right now, you're fresh. Right now, you must be popping. Like they must be like, oh my God, this new man. It must be like that for them, innit? Come on, it's got to be.
Well, yeah. I've had situations where women kind of, you know, literally throw themselves at me, but
Yeah.
it's not for the right reasons.
Is it for the dollars?
Yeah, it's not for the right reasons. So because I sift them out now, I know what they're about. So I stay far from them.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
And it's for me as a British, it's hard for me to find a bona fide, genuine woman here because, you know, after a while, I just see that their motives are just all the same.
Really?
You understand? I've only met one woman here in Jamaica that our motives are just different. I could just see that she did just while she was here, that is, because she's not in Jamaica. You understand?
Okay.
She's not in Jamaica at the moment, but she was the only one that kind of she showed a deeper interest in me as opposed to just being there for a nice time.
Okay. So what you're actually saying, let me paraphrase that. Are you feeling like it's hard to find a real genuine connection with the women based on you being from London and what they may want from you is not just love?
Yeah, it's hard. You have to. A lot of them, some of them, they give it away straight. They give away their motives straight away. Some of them.
Okay.
You understand? Others. You try to get to know them, and then eventually you'll realize their motives. Eventually.
Okay. Is that because they really
some give it away straight away? Others try to kind of play it out, but you know when you got motives, sometimes you can't hide them out. You can't keep it in, can you? Whatever your motives may be.
Though, or these women that are, you know, are these single women we're speaking of?
No. Okay. Most of the women I've met here in Jamaica has got their man, but will still want to be in a relationship with me.
Yeah, you're something different, isn't it?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Real talk.
Okay.
Yeah. You understand? But I'm not on that.
Let's go back to the dating.
I'm not on that because I don't want no man come looking for me.
Sorry?
I'm not on that because I don't want no man come looking for me.
No, of course not. So let's go back on the actual dating. Is there, I mean, I don't know if you're a man that's really into dating, or is it like, you know, old school is very different, I guess. But is there a dating scene, whether or not the women have their partners or not? Is anyone discussing courtship, dating, going out, or is it more like you personally meet somebody and it's a house vibe instantly?
Well, all right. Well, when I meet a woman, then if I meet a woman and I like her and ting and exchange numbers or whatever, I'm not gonna really invite her around to my house straight away. To be honest, yeah, I'll probably see if she wants to go out, you know, for a dinner or something like that. You know, I mean, if she wants to know where I live straight away, then yeah, that's no big deal. That's okay. But I try to do it the right way. I try to do it like I'm used to doing it. But a lot of these chicks down there, they ain't got time for that. They don't have time. So
you're saying that
they'd rather you just go and buy them a KFC and then you take it from there.
Wow. I was also told by somebody else, by multiple people, that some African women are also the same. I sat down with a bunch of people and the African woman was like, not really, prefer the money, you know. So I'm like, okay, so the flowers don't mean anything. Romance isn't really a thing for a lot of people. Okay, so are you a romantic? Are you romantic then?
I was driving with a chick one day, yeah, in her car, yeah, and we was uptown. I can't remember where. I think we was going for lunch or something like that. And we was uptown, yeah, and we was coming to some traffic lights. So a man was selling roses and things, and we was approaching the traffic lights. So I says, do you want a rose? I said, no man, no way with that, man. No one in something. I'm thinking to myself, fucking hell, man. A man's offering to buy you a rose. I say, you know what? You know what I mean? I just thought,
wow.
You know?
Does that then mean,
you know the way.
Does that then mean that you have to suppress yourself then because your characteristics are wasted on these types of ladies, perhaps?
Yeah. So I don't. Once I see, you see, the thing is, I've been here long enough now to detect certain characteristics.
Okay.
Yeah, in some women. So if me and you get talking or whatever, and then just depending on our plain conversation now, I can determine whether I want to take it further, yes or no.
Okay.
I can determine that now. I can determine that.
Okay, so from your feedback, what I'm gaining is that you are a single bachelor open to meeting somebody, right?
Yeah, no, well, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. The woman I check for right now ain't even in Jamaica. And that's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah, real talk. The woman I check for right now ain't even here in Jamaica.
So, okay, so where do we, so is it, are you in a situationship then?
Yeah, I'm just, yeah, man, whatever you want to call it. Me and her just cool. I know it's not like it's someone I met over the internet. It's someone I know her personally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Is she coming over? Is she coming over to live then, or was that going to be like a Mills and Boons put in the book and left there?
Yeah, man. When the time is right, man, I'll see her, man.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely before the year's done. Before the year's done, I should see her.
Okay, so ladies watching this, you may not be available. Okay, don't go into my inbox asking me to. You might have to
they better make their move. They better make their move from now. If they're serious, they better make their move from now.
Watch this disclaimer. If you like what you see, yeah, ladies, go straight to his inbox here after this live. I didn't tell you that, right? Don't tell my body. Okay. You've got until now, till December. Yeah.
Now till December, man. Now till December to make your move.
Tell us a little bit more. What type of woman do you like from the in to the out? Let's start with characteristics first. What's your type of woman, if you don't mind sharing that with us?
My type of woman, she's got to have humor, man. She's got to be. I'm a humorous person. I love humor and I love to have a laugh. So she's got to be like that.
Okay.
First of all.
All right, go on. Go
on. Good conversation. I don't have a particular type. You know, like some people say they want a particular type of woman, like she's got to be slim, she's got to be. No, I don't really have like a particular type appearance-wise. You know what I mean? Yeah, I just go for like good character, really. You understand? Obviously, she's got to be nice looking or good enough looking in my eyes.
Does race play a part? Do you have to be a particular race, or are you open to? Are you diverse?
No, my woman's got to be a black woman, straight, man.
All right.
You know what I mean, no disrespect to no other races and thing, but it's just what I'm used to, innit? I mean, a white woman can't cook ackee and saltfish for me and them thing there in the morning.
Well, maybe she can, but it may not taste the same. But maybe she can.
She can, might not taste the same. You understand? She might fucking, excuse my language. She might boil the ackee and end up making soup or some shit like that. You know what I mean? See, so
I'm done. Okay,
yeah, in that respect, you know what I mean? All
right.
Yeah, I just stick to my black woman.
Okay, so you like a Nubian sister. Do you mind whether she's natural or she wears a weave, or is there a difference? What? Give us a little bit more.
I don't mind if she wears weave. I mean, I prefer the natural look still.
Okay.
I don't mind the weave because most women tend to wear weave nowadays, and it's not like I'm not attracted to a woman that wears weave, because if I said I wasn't, then I'd be lying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it doesn't matter if she wears weave. Weave is a thing that a lot of people are against it, but weave is a thing that we originated from Egypt, from Kemet days. Okay. Our women was wearing weave. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it's not nothing new to black women. You understand? Yeah, we were wearing weave. Our women was wearing that before the Europeans, or before we thought it was a European thing. Because the mindset has set the people them now to believe that weave is to make you look like a white woman. No, it's not. Or to make you look like a European. No, it's not. Weave is a thing that we originated from. I have to go when
myself. So thank you for enlightening, because obviously we do have an impression of where that came from. I used to be the original weave girl, so I always say express yourself the way you want. I always had different colors, different hair, and I enjoyed it. So to each their own, you know. But that's a good point you made. I'm going to research that. Did we originate it in that terms? I'm going to look that up. Okay, so you don't mind what she looks like, or whether she's natural or not, as long as her heart is clean, basically.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What about?
I've got to have a good sense of humor.
Consciousness. Consciousness.
Pardon?
I just imagine that you'd be attracted to, and correct me if I'm wrong, a woman that's got elements of consciousness and spirituality. Am I wrong?
Yeah, she's got to have an element of consciousness as well.
That's the vibe I get from you. Okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if she ain't got that, if she doesn't have that, believe you me, our relationship won't go far, man.
Yeah, yeah.
It won't go far. It'll only go as far as it can.
Okay,
You know?
all right.
And I'll only be maybe forcing it for it to go further than it should, which will become problematic in the end, won't it, really?
All right, so 2 more questions before we bring this live to a nice close. Is what, in your opinion, what would you say, is there a difference in the unity of the people in Jamaica versus London? The community and unifiedness. Is there a difference in how we behave, how we vibe from London to Jamaica?
There's not much of a difference. What I could say about the unity in the thing with Jamaica, right? A lot of this unity in Jamaica right now is just down to just people just trying to control turf. It's just like a turf kind of thing. Same kind of thing like in England, really, but on a higher scale. Because these dudes down there got some high power weapons, man.
Oh yeah.
Luckily enough, where I live is calm where I am, but about say 3-4 miles up the road, there's a war going on right now. About 4 miles up the road from me, and that's going on. That's going on from say between 4 and say 8 miles away. So just say between 4 miles up the road and the next 4 miles, between those 4 miles is a turf war going on with the people them up there. But luckily enough, it's not really down this side. With England, I think the unity, I don't really see much unity in the community in England again, even when I was living there.
Yeah.
You know, even when I was living there, you know, the unity's gone totally down the drain in England amongst the black people. When I was growing up as a kid, it was just, there was so much love and unity in our communities them days, you know. And it's just a shame that it disintegrated, right? But it was a plan. I think what happened in England, it was planned to disunify us because we was getting so strong. Because when we went through the riots and all these things, there was such a strength and a pride amongst us being black and British as well. Yeah, that they weakened us. Through drugs. That's what brought this unity to the British black communities. Okay. Crack cocaine. Once that came into our communities, right, that is where the family broke down and disintegrated. The whole unification disintegrated because of crack. I'm telling you. Because before that, before crack came into the picture, it was a lot, black people were so unified before that shit came into our communities. Once that came in, it was just it just disintegrated us. Wow. And it's sad.
Yeah, drugs. Okay. So you're saying there isn't, from your experience, the unity in London has kind of evaporated as opposed to like Jamaica. And why I asked that also is because you always see people from Jamaica relentlessly sharing videos, should I say, about the jealousy that's in Jamaica. I've heard Untold say, don't come here to live, you know, etc., etc., etc. Of course, there's good and bad everywhere. We know that. Everywhere there's good and bad. But in your opinion, from being there, is it so high frequency after all in the jealousy and the lack of togetherness and unity? Like, I mean, what's your experience on that side?
A lot of what I've noticed is a lot of the stuff that happen here is a lot of it is family orientated as well. Yeah. A lot of it is jealousy amongst family members. You know, the family member, even down here, it's just like there's warring factions in families, and you think I'm just so glad that I didn't come out of a big family, man. You understand me? Yeah. Right? Because what I've noticed with a lot of families, especially, I've got to refer back to England again.
Go for it.
When I was growing up, right, a lot of the black people I grew up with came out of families like where there's like 4 brothers, 5 sisters, you know, big families. See?
Is that one household or half here and half here? That makes a difference as well.
No, you know, like one household, pure brothers and sisters and this and that. And, you know, there was always a love and a unity and this and that again. But then again, that broke down as well. Once the mother and the father passed away, even that disintegrated the family again. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? See, so even within the families, even here in Jamaica as well, the same thing. Once the mother or the father passes away, then you find the brothers and the sisters start to be at loggerheads with one another over something that not even they're going to bloody take to the grave themselves.
Right. Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? See, so on a whole, I think we as black people on a whole, we just need re-educating, man.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I don't mean like going back to school, like education. I mean, just back to basic family, just simple family values, man. We need to go back and learning that as black people. It's, you know, it's just totally gone down the drain. We need to bring the family back.
100%. But how do we do that? People are still saying it's because of the lack of the man in the household. I mean, look, of course we want balance. Of course we need balance. But at the same time, there's been many successful mothers that has raised their children. But what is success? Because people seem to feel like a successful partner is someone where your kid has grown up, gone to uni, and got a top job. Does that mean successful? Is that where we're at?
I don't class that as being successful.
Because if my son was a doctor, surgeon,
I don't cut you. I remember once, me and one of my cousins was having a discussion, right? And she says to me, like she's saying to me, "We're all successful. What about you?" Like,
oh my God,
that's what she said to me. Yeah, and I thought to myself, hold on a minute. I didn't say it at the time because she was talking, and I was just really trying to take in what she was saying. But it wasn't until after when I thought back at it, and she was saying, all of us are successful, so what about you? Why can't you? And I'm thinking to myself, does making, what, just because you've got your own house, does that make you successful?
People believe that. People really believe that.
Exactly.
They really believe that because you've got a top job and you've got a house or a husband or wife, you're successful. That's what they think success is. And that is total rubbish. You're defined by your relationship status. That's how you're defined.
Exactly. It's
ridiculous. So basically, if you're single as a man and have no children, there's something wrong with you, by the way. You're not successful. Exactly. If I'm single as a woman, what's wrong with her? Because we are defined by another person or a job role that makes you something.
Exactly. I mean, it's crazy, man.
You know,
when she said that to me, I really thought I should have answered her at the time, but because I didn't really penetrate what she said at the time, you know? But when I thought back at it, I thought to myself, she was actually dissing me, man.
Yeah, of course she was.
You know what I'm saying? In a neat way. You know? In a neat way. But I didn't twig at the time. You know, you're in a family environment, music's playing, and she draws me to one side, like she's trying to give me a lecture for whatever reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
Because like I said, I'm the black sheep, you understand me? Yeah. See? So occasionally, you'll find, say, people want to come try and lecture me and chat shit and all of that, and they don't know that I got their ticket. You know them ways. So the truth, I don't want to reveal their ticket, but may I fit them ticket. But because you see what I've noticed with people in the whole, especially with us black people, right? We like to hide and do things. Yes? And when someone gets exposed for something, we all want to point the finger, right? Yeah. But that only makes us feel good because what we have done has not been revealed. See? So we're always quick to point the finger and condemn. Yeah? And then, but our storage and our foolishness is still in the closet. The solitude, the closet door ain't open on us yet. See? So going back to even my family again now, some of them, right? I was the one that was always getting condemned for this and that for whatever reason. But I've got tickets on enough of them. Yeah. See? And I don't bust no one's secret. I just hold it and say, okay, really? All right then. Yeah. So now, what I realize that now, they got to look at all of them, they got to look at me in a different light now. A different light. Because what I've done, they'll be scared to do. Yeah. None of my cousins, them or people them in England would be interested to come back. I've got cousins there that's got mum and dad's got big house in Portland, and they're not interested in coming back and doing what I'm doing. If their mum and dad pass away, they probably will want to sell their house.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah?
That's pretty amazing.
As opposed to billing.
It's quite bold. So, is there anything more you'd like to add on this free flowing thoughts about your experiences in Jamaica? Are you coming back? I know you decide there you want to get dual, residency, but when are you coming back to London? Are you coming back? Or have you just left us to it now and gone forever and not coming back to visit?
I will be coming back. I will be coming back. I'm still trying to, as much as I'm hearing that, I'm still trying to organise stuff concerning my mum's paperwork. And these people here in Jamaica, they take so damn long to do things. They just, everything's a snail pace for them down here, man. I don't know if it's because the sun is so hot or what, mate. They just drag their feet or what, but they just need to speed up to do things, man. They just take their time. Everything is just so relaxed and chilled out here in Jamaica for them. They just do everything at their own pace. And
Jamaica don't have no content. I'm surprised. Thank you for coming on the live on time, because I've noticed when I'm dealing with people in foreign, I'm going to read your comments shortly, and big up yourself, Sherlock. What's good? Yeah?
Big up Sherlock, my brother. Big up Sherlock. Respect my brother. 100%.
So I've noticed that Jamaica don't have no respect for time. I've lived it, done it when I was out there. They're on a whole different frequency. So
yeah, for real. I mean, even I've been on a few video shoots with some artists and things,
okay.
and even with them, the timing, man. If they say 3 o'clock, trust me, yeah, you're not starting those shoot till all 6 in the evening.
And that's a norm. That's a norm for them, isn't it?
And that's a normal thing for them. That's a normal thing, man. Everything down here is just such a snail's pace, man. Everything is just so calm and cool, and people just drag their feet. Not in England, everyone's on a fasting, innit? See, you just want to. The time in England goes so quickly. It goes so quickly. In England, in Jamaica, time just goes so slow. It just drags.
It feels like that. But you know what? Allow me to end this live on a more positive, because obviously I've been challenging the differences between London and JA. So let me now say the beautifulness about JA, the weather, the food, the beaches, yeah? Make us jealous. Are you not enjoying all of that wonderfulness?
Oh, say that again?
I said, are you not enjoying all the wonderfulness, like the beaches, the food?
Oh, wow, yeah. Listen, I'll tell you, when I do the beach thing, right? Oh, man, the beach thing is nice, man. It's not a thing I do all the time, because when you want to go to a beach and have fun, you have to have money. Do you understand what I'm saying? To really enjoy it, because, usually if I do go beach and thing, I want to go, if I ain't going with my brethren, then I'm going to want to go with a girl, with a woman. So you have to have money. Yeah, man. She might want to have a fish or something, or a piece of jerk chicken or something like that. You know what I mean? You have to make sure you got money for that. See, so the beach thing is nice, but you just got to have money, really, if you want to really, unless you're in a hotel resort, where the beach is there, it's different. But like for me now, I could say, okay, I want to go Hellshire. If I want to go Hellshire today, then I've got to make sure I've got money on me, because clearly you go Hellshire, I'm not just going to go there to just sit down on the beach. I'm just going to want to go, I'm going to want to have a roast fish or a steamed fish or something, drink 2 beer. You know what I mean? Maybe buy some weed over there, and have fun.
Well, let me encourage you, allow me to encourage you. It's beautiful to have company. We know that. Whether it's family, friends, partnership. But you know what? One of these times, you just go do you. You've got to be yourself on the beach, call your own mates, and just do you and enjoy it. Because right about now, we would love to have a bit of what you have. So big up yourself on that, yeah? All right, so as I close the live, people watch this playback because of time differences. How has your time been tonight with me on Free Flowing Thoughts? Share your afterthoughts, please.
I didn't hear that. You just cut out. Say that again, please.
As we're close to the end of this talk, I do something called sharing your afterthoughts. Can you hear me? His ears to the phone.
No. Yeah. My car was going past, man.
How have you found your live talk with me tonight?
It was quite interesting, I was, to be fair, leading up to it, I was a bit nervous because...
Yeah, me too. You Facebook, so I was.
Yeah. But I think it did go quite well. I mean, it did. I am relaxed and thing, and you're a good presenter. you should do this maybe on a more.
Oh, honey, God's got
Professional
plans for
level.
me. God's got plans for me, baby. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think because you're a good presenter, you're calm. You know how to relax your guests and thing, and then and you know how to put the questions in the right way and in the right order. Also, you don't some presenters or journalists, they just go straight for the jugular. You know, you're not that type. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So yeah, man, do your thing, man. It's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Thank you. I intentionally don't. I'm all about soul connectivity, and that means that my focus, whether I'm doing a strategic interview or just chit chat with Silver like tonight I'm more involved in the conversations with this vibe and reasoning, you know. For me, it can't just be about look at me, I'm doing this. It's about soul connectivity. Think of the other person. It's not about exploiting the conversation, you know. And that's why I go about it the way I do, brother. So I'm glad you recognize and you feel it and you enjoyed it. Yeah. So before you go,
big up Anne Marie. Big up Anne Marie.
Yeah.
Big up Sherlock again.
Exactly. Let me read some Sherlock's comments before Osiris goes. Empress Silver, what's going on, Baba? Yeah. Thank you for jumping on, Shells, because obviously usually I'm on my Instagram and I don't see you. Yeah. So Avery, Evs, Sherlock, Fifi, and whoever else who I may not be able to see who's popped on and off. Thank you for joining us. Apocalypse, also you, and Scott, and whoever else jumped on and off. We appreciate you. Sir, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Your presence was appreciated. Yeah. I think I should call you back in a little while and see how life is with you in Jamaica. And maybe when you come to London, if there's some events happening or whatever, holler at me. Let's link up. Let's see what.
Definitely, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
Thank
brother.
you very much.
Namaste.
Bless you. Bless you. Thank you for giving me your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
You didn't have to give me your time, you know.
Oh, bless you. Have a good night.
Cool. Bless you.
See ya. I'm not sure whether
Bye-bye.
I'm not sure which side of the phone you can.
I don't know how to even sign off this thing here, man. Is it up here?
So
Oh,
let
wow.
me sign off together. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, okay. Cheers.
Soon.
Bye.
I'm not sure when I'm doing my next live on here. Oh, there you go. Okay. So guys, it's been the first live show on Facebook. I thought I would try it out. I don't know when the next one's going to be, but I'm always locked into Instagram, as you know. Have a good night. See ya.